Hunter Biden is expected to meet with potential buyers of his paintings at art shows later this year. As CBS News reports, those meetings would be seemingly at odds with an arrangement that's trying to keep the identity of those buyers secret from Biden, the White House, and the public. CBS News White House reporter Bo Erickson joins me now. He reported this news with CBS producers Arden Farhi and Finn Gomez. Hi there, Bo. Good to see you again. So tell us more about this agreement made with the gallery owner. What's the reasoning behind it, and what do ethics experts think about it?
So there has to be an agreement between Hunter Biden, the son of the president, and this gallery owner, in their view, in order to try to keep secret the eventual buyer of the art here. The reason why they're doing this, and it's an agreement blessed by the White House as well, is to try to limit any sense of someone trying to come in and have some type of a hold over Hunter Biden or try to have any type of influence with him or his father as well. So that's the agreement, that whenever Hunter Biden's art is sold by this New York City gallery later this fall, Hunter Biden, the White House, and the public will not know the buyer. But what we are reporting today is that Hunter Biden still plans to attend 2 art shows before the art goes on sale later this year. And so if you've ever been to an art show, I haven't been to many, but I've at least been to one, and you mingle and you talk with people. So it is one opportunity that Hunter Biden could actually be meeting the people who he is going to eventually sell his art to, which, according to the agreement that everyone has entered into, is not supposed to happen. Government ethics experts have really questioned this. They say it is something that only the children of presidents can do, and they're worried that there may be influence peddling here from either Americans, wealthy Americans, because this art has a really high sticker price, or maybe even foreigners who are trying to have some sort of sway with the Biden administration.
Yeah, and Bo, how much money could Hunter Biden get for his art pieces?
So yes, this is art, and painting specifically is something that we were told Hunter Biden picked up within the last 2 years, and they are planning to sell a little bit more than a dozen paintings. And right now we were told the sticker price is between $75,000 to $500,000 per each painting. Art is obviously very subjective. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I guess so is the price tag here. And therefore, because of the high price tag specifically and how much money can be made here, some of those ethics experts are worried about specifically making money and also the influence that someone is willing to have if they're willing to pony up this money. Walter Schaub told us, he's the former head of the government ethics office under the Obama administration. He says that this kind of agreement just goes to show you that the focus isn't on government ethics here. It's just showing that the child of a president can cash in on the presidency.
Wow. So, Bo, very quickly here, you said that the White House has given this arrangement its blessing. I mean, what else have White House officials said about this arrangement?
So yes, the White House has been asked if they support this agreement, and they are saying that the secrecy that this whole agreement is based on, this lack of transparency, this lack of knowing who's actually buying the paintings, is actually something that is good in the process, because therefore supposedly the public will not know. Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, was asked this the other day, and she said that she thought it would be challenging for an anonymous person who the Biden administration does not know, or Hunter Biden doesn't know, for them to have influence if they buy this art. But one of the hiccups here that could potentially go the other way is that even though the people who are selling the art agree to not publicize who is buying the art, the eventual buyers of the art, all they have to do is maybe post on Instagram that they bought this art, and then they could make it well known that they are the ones who paid maybe $500,000 for the son of the president's art.
Wow. All right. Bo Erickson for us. Bo, thank you very much.